Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to HR Repair. Today we have a 2007. This is the LBZ Duramax, and we have customer complaint of, let's get in here, get inside, it's windy outside. I've already got the scan tool plugged in. I had to go get the key, I forgot it. I already see a problem. Look at the fuel gauge. Anyway, customer complaint. He says his voltage is all the way over to 19. And I just put an alternator in this thing. So he is concerned that my new alternator that I replaced about a month ago is already going bad. He wants warranty if possible. So I can already tell you that that is inaccurate. I don't think his battery is holding 19 volts. So let's get into this thing and we'll get this figured out. Contact. So we got scan tool here. I mean, I can pretty much tell all that I'm going to drop the scan tool. I'm trying to do everything outside here because my shop is full right now. I'm doing got both bays full, so it is a Chevrolet and it is hot in here. I'm sweating. But anyway, squirrels and sidelines and side trails and whatnot all that I'm getting distracted by. Look at there. He's over full on fuel. Oh no. 19 volts. This may not even be an interesting video because it's not going to take much to fix this. So it's a Silverado Classic. 6.6 liter Duramax LBZ. No, it's not the automatic. It's the up-level radio. Let's open the window just a little bit, get a little air movement. It's hot out here today. It's a whole... it is the automatic. Equal to or under. Okay, really, come on. Just get with the program already. Alright, so what I want to do is I want to go in here and I want to sweep the gauges just to make sure, but we can already tell, I'm pretty sure that we have bad stepper motors in this dash. And if you know anything with me, I like to use circuit board medics to replace and repair dashes. So we have got, I think we're going to be sending this one off. Like I said, I'm a little distracted because I think this is going to be a pretty easy fix. I don't think we're going to have much of an issue figuring out what's wrong here. So basically what happens is these are called stepper motors in behind the gauge. Usually for some reason when you have one go bad, you have two go bad. It's not uncommon at all. I had an older 05 that I had the fuel gauge go bad on me, and literally the next day my oil pressure gauge went shoom all the way down as far as it could go. Now the oil pressure gauge can't sweep all the way around because, you know, that right there, but the fuel gauge can, and sometimes it will. So we have, I believe, a dash that needs to be removed and sent in. By the way, while we're here, how many miles does this thing have? 364,553 miles. And I know this truck because I've had it in several times. I knew it had high miles. I wasn't quite aware that it had that many miles. But yeah, this truck is rust free, which is highly abnormal here in central Illinois. Okay, so let's look. I think this is probably going to be a turbo boost. Yeah, turbocharger engine under boost. let's go ahead, and we don't have anything going on in the instrument panel cluster. So it won't throw any faults. Those stepper motors won't. So there's no faults. But what we can do, never mind, active test. What we can do is go in here, and I believe on these we can do a gauge test, display test. So, yeah. Yep, we have stepper motors that are an issue because they don't come, this one did not come back to 0. Let's go ahead and start it up. And we can see our battery gauge is moving around. It's not over here to 19 anymore. It's a little more where it's supposed to be. The fuel gauge is slightly more where it's supposed to be. And our oil pressure gauge is at 0. So now our oil pressure gauge quit working. I'm going to shut it off just in case. I don't think that's right. Let's go ahead and, because he didn't say anything about the oil pressure. Wouldn't that be a problem? We didn't drain the oil out of this thing, so it should have oil pressure, but let's just look here. Live data. Come in here and see what the engine oil pressure is in the computer. Okay, engine oil pressure. Let me see if I... Man, this thing is... One bad thing about this scan tool is so big that it's hard to get it in front of my fat stomach and in between my stomach and the dash. So let's see what we have here. Okay, 58 pounds of oil pressure, and now it's working. So we have a stepper motor going bad in the fuel gauge. Oh, look at there, in the battery meter, and then looks like this one here is starting to go bad as well. So this dash needs to be sent off and rebuilt. As we can see, if you look up here, 14.5 volts is what the ECM is detecting. So like I said, this one may not even be worth posting. I don't know, I might not. If you see it, I posted it. So let's go ahead and we'll pull this dash out of here. It's going to be just pulling this part off here, and then we'll got to bring this down, put this all the way down, put this in the back seat here. So just FYI, the customer did okay the repair, and we'll have a 7mm bolt here, up here, up here, and up here. I don't have that with me, of course. And then we'll unplug this, or pull this out, unplug it, and send it off. So it's just that easy. It really is. It's, I mean, this is not gonna be a hard repair. I wish they were all like this. So let's get this thing out of here, get it sent off. I'll bring you guys back and we'll get this thing taken care of. Welcome back to the land of freedom. Here we are, back from Circuit Board Medics. We have a nicely wrapped dash, all cleaned up nice and pretty. Would you look at that? We've got gauges that are all where they're supposed to be. Yes, yes, yes. This is what we like. All right. So what we're going to do, we're going to install this thing, and we're going to make sure that everything works the way it's supposed to. So let's head on out there. I'm probably going to install the dash, and that way I can drive it. I'm going to need keys. We're going to install the dash, just kind of lay it in there so we can bring it inside. We've got a few other things to repair on this thing while we've got it here. Customer wants the lock switch replaced on the lock here, and then he also wants me to replace this handle here. I've got that one on the way coming. It's not here yet, so that one I don't know if I'll well, probably won't show this on camera, but I mean, we've got a new switch. We're going to put that in. We're going to install this dash, and we'll make sure everything works. No! Okay. All right, hopefully you guys can see there. I know the sun's probably glaring a little bit. So, I think I could actually drive the thing inside the way it is, but I'm not going to. So let's go ahead, plug this thing in. Everything's powering up. Satellites are linking up into outer space here. Here we go. Top in first, always. Don't ever try to put it in the other way because it doesn't work. Okay. We have a half a tank of fuel. Voltage is correct. The odometer is correct. 364,553 miles. It's hot in here. Okay. Fire's right up. We've got a check engine light on. For some reason, sometimes this thing has a check engine light because of turbo boost issues. It's something we haven't really been able to figure out, partly because we haven't really done just a lot of work on it. The turbo seems to be working correctly. He wants me to do more checking and devote some time to that, so I'll probably just make that a separate video because it doesn't really fit in with the dash work that we're doing here. So make a separate video on diagnosing that problem. But we're gonna get pulled in here. It's 2:23 in the afternoon on a Friday afternoon, and guess what? I'm getting ready to go camping for the weekend, so I'm trying to get this done ASAP. Roll down the window for safety. You know, next time we start it, it probably won't have that check engine light on, so let's go ahead and find our screws here, and we'll get this thing put back together. It literally takes very little time. There's one in each corner here. I think I might have showed it to you before, but we'll get them installed now, get them tightened down, pop the cover back on. Just FYI, this truck has been here at my shop for over a week now. It's not been because of circuit board medics. They got the dash back to me pretty quickly, but it's just been extremely hectic around here. And with Memorial Day taking off on Memorial Day, we just did not get near as much done in a week's time as we normally do, which is fine. Customer's okay with it. He's not upset about it. And I got to have a vacation day. Went fishing with my niece and her husband. So that was fun times. I didn't catch anything, which is nothing unusual. If I catch something, it's pretty unusual. I might get a nibble here and there. Maybe a bite. But, yeah. Fishing and me, I don't know. I like sitting out there and fishing, but somehow my manly sense must chase them away, I guess. Something about it. Can't help it. A couple years ago, I did go with a couple of my friends up to Canada, and we did some walleye fishing. That was pretty successful. Did catch one of the biggest fish up there. None of the other guys, they could compete with me then. If they're watching, I'm going to get a text message here in about 2 minutes. Oh, sorry guys, I knocked you right over the head. Okay, so then this comes in here. And I still say that this square body Chevy from 06 and 07 is the best truck that GM ever made. It has the LBZ Duramax with the 6-speed Allison transmission, and everything's easy to work on. I used to have one. I actually had one exactly like this, except mine had leather seats. And phone's ringing. Of course it is. We back. All right. Now what?